All right, folks, how you doing? Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Glad to be with you. BangTheBook.com here in the studios, getting ready for the radio shows, Sportsbook Radio and Vegas Hockey Hotline. Always inviting you to check the sports betting podcast out at BangTheBook.com and follow along on Twitter at BangTheBook. Always trying to give you the update on the numbers, what things are happening in terms of line movement from a Las Vegas perspective, and we're focused on the NFL. We're into bye weeks now. We got teams coming off the bye. Tons of injuries in the NFL last week. Let's focus on the games this week. Philly and Carolina. We're seeing the Panthers about a 3.5-point favorite. Total on the game is 46. Cam Newton, they're lucky, by the way. Cam Newton played out of his mind in the first half. And how many times will they ever learn? Teams go to this prevent defense, and they almost gave the football game away. But the Panthers' offense has finally awoken. Ed Dixon's given them some work from the tight end position. He had a monster game, 175 yards. We'll see if Newton can back it up. In Philadelphia, how about Carson Wentz? He had a really solid rookie season, I think, went under the radar. The total might be the play here. Both offenses coming off very big weeks last week. Cleveland and Houston. Now, this is a very interesting game. What do the odds makers do? There's things in play for both of these teams. Cleveland's changing quarterbacks. Kaiser's not going to be the guy anymore. It's going to be Hogan. And then Houston has the devastating injuries on defense, specifically J.J. Watt's out. Think of this as a number was going to be above 10. It's down in the 9.5 range as a consensus total on the game is 47. Miami, I don't know what's going on with this offense. Jay Ajayi was a monster last year. They just can't seem to get things on track. Know that Miami, because of the hurricane traveling, they're out in California, then they're in England. It's been kind of an ugly start to the Dolphins season. Maybe they settle in and play better now finally, but they've got a tough test going to Atlanta, where the last time they played on their home field, they were shut down by the Bills defense. Extra time to prepare, don't forget about it, and that's why that number's up to 11.5. Total on the game is 46.5. Detroit and New Orleans, you do get the Saints coming off a bye. Drew Brees does get a weapon back. Willie Snead was suspended for the first three, then pulled a hamstring before game 4. Likely going to go here, and I think that's another bullet in the holster here for Brees passing the ball, and they've got to just start throwing and trusting this guy. No more Adrian Peterson. That experiment's gone. They traded him. Watch for the kid Kamara out of the backfield. I think New Orleans might be sitting on a good outing here. What do we do with the Jets? The Jets, everybody's the worst team in the league, and they're going to get the top pick, and they'll get their pick of the litter for the quarterbacks. It's the other New York team, the Giants, that have the bagel on the board. The Jets have been competitive, but New England's a 9.5-point favorite. It's a big number, a road division game. For whatever reason, good, bad, indifferent, the Jets always seem to play the Patriots tough. And at this point, you just can't trust the Patriots. The defense finally played better against Tampa Bay, but something's just still not right with New England. Is it going to shock anybody if they go nuts at the end of the year? Absolutely not. But right now, they're kind of treading water. Let's go to the game with Green Bay and Minnesota. Green Bay's 3 on the road. Total on the contest is 47. Could it be a letdown spot for the Packers after the dramatic win at the last second against the Cowboys, going on the road against an extremely tough Vikings defense? Bradford is back in the lineup. They eked out a win against the Bears, but that was a look-ahead spot for Minnesota to the Packers. This might be interesting. The home dog could be the play here. Chicago and Baltimore, again, the air may be out of the balloon for Chicago, but they've got Trubisky, so every game's a learning deal for this kid, and he didn't look horrible, and it stands to reason that he'll get even better with another week's worth of work. Don't forget, they threw him to the wolves his first game against that Vikings defense. So we'll see how the Bears fare at Baltimore, where their defense can be really, really good as well. Flacco's got some weapons he can stretch the field with. They're 6.5-point favorites. This could be a number. It's hard to trust Baltimore, but this is a number that could maybe get to 7. San Fran and Washington, we've got the Redskins laying 10 here. Cousins, they've been running hot and cold. He's got a lot of weapons. I think they got to get Pryor more involved in that offense. San Francisco is just really hard to trust. The total on the game is 46.5. The Rams, a little dose of reality last week. And listen, they've been one of the surprise stories in the NFL. Goff looks really good. But last week, that was all about a situational play for Seattle, who couldn't let them run away and hide in the division. So maybe it's a dose of reality for the Rams. Can they avoid a losing streak? But they're going on the road to take on Jacksonville, who's actually been pretty good. Marrone has this team playing some good football, and they got a running game with Fournette. And believe me, if you can run and stop the run, you got a shot to win in the NFL. And Jacksonville's a 2.5-point favorite. Minus 20 means this game, you're going to see threes at some point during the week. Tampa Bay and Arizona. Tampa Bay's 2.5 on the road. Again, Arizona runs hot and cold. Do you trust Jameis Winston on the road going cross country? Take the travel into account in that one. Home dog could be live. 44.5 is the number there. Pittsburgh, KC. KC's 4.5-point favorite. And these are inflated numbers now. Pittsburgh's a public team, but KC, everybody's in love with KC with the weapons they've got. Hunt, Hill, Kelsey, he had the concussion. We'll see what his status is for the game, but they're playing really good football. And we know Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger off 5 picks, 2 of them were pick sixes. And for whatever reason, the Steelers are nowhere near as good on the road as they are at home, and they were brutal at home in their last game. You got the Raiders, a 3-point favorite against the Chargers. Chargers just can't seem to find a way to kick the door down. They finally did because the Giants gift-wrapped one for them, but they got a shot here because it's likely going to be E.J. Manuel again, and he's hard to trust. And then let's just wrap it up with the Sunday night game, the Giants in Denver. Hard to believe. People talked about the Giants as a potential Super Bowl contender this year, and they are brutal. They're 0-5. They lose Odell Beckham. And then you get Denver coming off a bye. Don't forget weather at this time of year. Denver's always the first place in the country where it snows. But this number's up to 12, and the total on the game is 40. So there you have it. Look at the numbers, how they're going to dance around for in the NFL. Always follow along. Bang the Book on Twitter. BangTheBook.com, the sports betting podcast. Always thrilled to be with you from Las Vegas. I'm Brian Blessing. More videos coming for you at BangTheBook.com.